Do you know the 14 traits of successful chiropractors? We've interviewed some of the top chiropractors in the industry and have identified the common traits that they all share. Jump on over to www.chirobusinessmojo.com to get your free report today.
Welcome to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast, where we deconstruct the methods, marketing, and mindset of successful business people and chiropractors from around the world. And now your host, Dr. Richard Day.
Yes, I am Dr. Richard Day, and this is the Chiro Business Mojo podcast. Thanks so much for checking in with me here today. Well, today is part 2 of the awesome interview with Dr. Tory Robson, and make sure you stick around at the end. We ran long after we signed off, and he shared a few more nuggets of valuable wisdom with us, so make sure you check it out.
I mean, think about it here. Here's what happens. The chiropractor calls me, I need more new ones. The second a chiropractor says to me, I need more new ones, I know they're clueless. I know they're lost. Why? So you can forget about them and ignore them like your last 4,000 new ones you had in the last 15 years? Is that how it works? Okay? What they need is, well, they need a better office visit so people will stick with them and want to come back and get their spaghetti sauce because it's so good. It's like a comedian. The comedian sits there and they're not that funny and they don't have a lot of people in the crowd on Friday night. And so the comedian calls me and says, hey, Tory, I think I need to do some advertising. Will you help me? And I go, why don't you just become more funny? And then the crowd will be filled. Jerry Seinfeld was going to do a thing here like on a whim. He happened to be in town, and they just announced it. Jerry Seinfeld at the thing tomorrow night. Wham! Full. In an hour. Why? Because he's funny. Didn't spend $1 on anything. The word announced, hey, I think I'm going to just show up at this club tonight and practice some new material. Boom! 1,000 people standing outside. Why? Because he's good. And the same thing is true in chiropractic. So we want to be good. And we have to remember this. It's if you forget about your past people, okay, then, that's the issue. You never psychologically disconnect ever from the past people that you want to see again. Their names are fresh in your mind. Their image is fresh in your mind. You stay psychologically connected. The chiropractor goes on vacation. They come back. What do? Print out the patient list. Highlight all the names of the people you want to see back in again. Write those names back down fresh. Read the names out loud every week. You think about those people. You set up that vibration. You will resonate with many of them. They will come back in. The best we've seen here is a guy recalled over 60 patients back into his office within 90 days of just paying attention to his past patients. We never disconnect from our past patients first. Then number 2 is their current patients coming in. There it is, second. And then, of course, then we go to the immediate area around our office. So it's who's already been in, who's there now, and who do we want to get in that's very, very close and can be very easy for them to come in. Now, another thing that's important to note here is I've got a client in a town of 908 people, Armstrong, Iowa. If you Google it, it might be 912 people. Okay? But yet in 20 years, he's had over 6,000 new patients. How's that possible? Because people flow through an area. There's unlimited people. It is an endless flow of people in and through your area. People say, how many times can I walk into that business? You could walk in there every month forever, and there'll be different people, different faces, different action, different opportunity. All right? So the 5-minute area around your office, that is it. You must absolutely dominate it. At one of our programs we have, you send a promotional piece to all of those people. You walk into all of those people. We just had a guy starting out in practice, Michigan. Went and did that. He had 6 new ones on the Monday and Tuesday, like 4 days later. He's on his way. He's on his way, and all he did was print some sheets of paper.
What do you tell the chiropractor who says, well, I'm busy, I'm the doctor, and this marketing thing, can't I just hire a marketing person?
Oh, is that how it works now? We just hire a marketing person? Really? What are you going to teach a marketing person to do? Are you really an expert? You can teach a marketing person to do what? How much more do you have to collect to just pay for the marketing person? See, the deal is this. Okay? If you're not willing to go out and get the people yourself and lead from the front, see, hear me, Tory Robson, the Winner's Edge chiropractor, the chiropractic Doberman, the whatever, right? Okay? All my scars are on the front. I turn my back to people, take my shirt off. I don't have any scars on my back. All my scars and all my wounds are on the front because I'm the one out front leading everybody else. I'm not going to hide behind a marketing person or hide behind whoever. I am the one who gets the job done. Now, if Okay? I can't do that. I think I need to hire somebody else. Then it's time for some humbling. And we got some jiu-jitsu classes here that will deliver some immediate humbling. Or we just go to the Winner's Edge DC Boot Camp Extreme, the most physically and mentally difficult event that has ever existed in chiropractic. And we will humble you in about the first 30 minutes of you walking in the door, should you be lucky enough to even get in. All right. If you think you're too good to go out and tell people how great you are and save their lives, you have a problem. The great Jack LaLanne, the fitness guru, who's the grandfather of fitness in the United States. Okay. He got into the fitness thing for various reasons. It's a great story to look at. Every chiropractor should watch every video on YouTube from Jack LaLanne. But he just would walk around and walk door to door, and he'd knock up to the door and say, "You're out of shape. I want you in my gym at 5 o'clock. And if you're not there, I'm going to come back and get you. I'm not going to let you live like this anymore." See, it boils down to this one word: love. If you actually love what you do, and you love people, and you love chiropractic, and you love the philosophy that it stands on, you love the results you're able to get, how would you not want to walk around and tell people to come in and see you? It frustrates me because of the consulting demand I have on my life, the calls, the events, and all this, that I can't be the full-time, full-on chiropractic powerhouse that I always have been. I'm still able to see a handful of people during the course of the week, so I can still stay sharp and I still love to practice, all right? But the thing is here's a guy like me. I have no problem walking into a place and say, "You know what? I drive by this place all the time, and I just wanted to drop off a couple cards here. I'm right down the road. You have anything bothering you, you always call me first. You are special because you're right down from my office." And when you can do that, and you can let people know that you care in a upfront, bold way, because see, here's what I know. If I can get them to see me, and I can get them to see me smile, I'm going to get them. And if they walk in my office and I get my hands on them, I'm really going to get them then. So whatever I can do to get my face and my smile in front of people and get my hands on them, it's only a matter of time. And if I think I'm going to hire somebody else to do that for me, lazy, weak, not being cheap because you're going to waste a bunch of money, and I'm just going to call you stupid.
Let me ask you this. If I said, "Dr. Robson, what you're telling me is resonating. I think I need help. I think I am ready to have a coach in my practice and in my life," what's that going to cost me?
Well, here's a great question. Now, I'm going to be a little bit argumentative just for fun here because we're friends and we can talk like this for the better of the group. But ready?
Ready.
Out there in the chiropractic world, when a chiropractor calls, let's say, and I get on the line, and they ask me how much it costs, I know I've just found their problem. Losers always ask what things cost. The winners always say, "What do I get if I join?" They evaluate, and then they say, "All right, now, tell me what it costs." And then they make the decision if the value is much more than the cost. Losers always wonder what things cost. They call up and they go, "Blah, blah, 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 blah. What does it cost?" And I just want to say, "Listen, dude, you're not going to make it here." Okay, and I have to give this lesson. All right, so it's always about what things are worth. Of course, the cost, I'll get to that in a second. But it's what it's worth. What do you get when you call Tory Robson, Winner's Edge, the guy, right? And you ask me, "Tory, if I join with you, what am I going to get that's going to be worth way more than what your fee is?" I'm going to give you 5 minutes to tell me, Tory. Ready, go. And that's what anybody who's looking for a consultant should do. You call up and say, "Joe Consultant, Susie Consultant, if I hire you, what do I get? What are you going to do?" And then when it's all done, you ask the cost, and then you make your decision. So here, yes, it's the coaching calls with me. Yes, it's our events. Yes, it's, of course, all of our videos. It's all of this stuff. And the cost can range anywhere from around $157 a week to $327 a week. Notice we have our payments weekly. And it's another one of our concepts of many. We have a saying here: if you want to become wealthy as a chiropractor, the Winner's Edge approach is this. Ready? Small amounts weekly. Small amounts weekly. You make your car payments weekly. You save money automatically weekly. Your taxes are paid weekly. It's done weekly. And the Winner's Edge Rapid Fire for our debt elimination process, we make debt payments every single day. Student loan interest accrues daily. So why would you pay at the end of the month and pay all the interest? The speed that the money gets there and takes bites out of the principal lowers then the amount of interest that accrues for the next day. So a genius concept we have here at Winner's Edge, and it should be on Oprah, but we're too busy to worry about things like that, is this. Just what a person will save on their student loan interest with me is more than double what a coaching would cost with me for several years. Just on the money they're going to save on their student loan interest from using the Winner's Edge rapid fire debt elimination system, which I invented by accident. Okay? You make a payment every single day. I paid off my $130,000 that I had left on my student loans in 8 months once I realized how much the interest was raping me, and this is many years ago now. Of course, the student loan debt is much greater, which is why the system must be used more than ever now. So we do things weekly, and so that's why we have the clients pay weekly, because we want the amount to be small and easy, and we want to remove any charge on it, and any sort of loading of a bunch of payments that people have on the first of the month. So there's a lot more to talk about with the financial flow we recommend for chiropractors' wealth creation. But to answer your question, around 150 to 327 a week, depending on the intensity that they're looking for.
Well, I want to shift now and talk about some big picture ideas, and we've already kicked some around. Certainly you've been very successful, and we all learn a lot from success, but we can learn even more from failure. Can you share with us a failure you've had in life and what you've learned from it?
Well, there was this flight attendant once. That's a joke.
I get it.
But you know what? I just didn't do that one right. All right. No, a little truth on that. It was this wonderful gal who happened to be a flight attendant, and the thing is, because of her flight attendant schedule, and she lived kind of in a town over, we could never quite connect. But she was a special person, and there's just no way it was going to work out. And I look back and I go, okay, there's maybe one that got away. All right. And I'm sure everybody, male, female, has a story like that. And I'm doing that to be a little bit funny here. But to get back to your question here, I have had success in practice from day one. Now, along the path, I have taken some fiery darts. I'll give you an example of one. I'm cruising along. I'm, quote, successful. I have a patient refer me to an accountant who everybody in the area uses. She's incredible. I hire her. Everything seems to be going fine. After a period of time of having her several years, I get a thing in the mail from the IRS that says, hey, would you please send us the receipts for all of these marketing expenses we see on your return? And I go, that's interesting. I produce them and I send them in. I didn't realize what was actually happening. All they were doing was trying to see if I had the money to pay for all those marketing expenses, well, then the number that was on my tax return for my income couldn't be right. But I didn't know that. Then I made an emergency move to try to learn more about this. But guess what happened? I get another thing in the mail from the IRS saying I owe them $187,000 in back taxes and penalties.
Whoa.
And oh, by the way, then the state gets wind of it and they say, you owe us $52,000. And we want it right now. And I go to get a hold of my genius accountant and she won't return my calls, won't return an email, and basically vanishes on me. And I'm sitting there going, what in the world happened? Very fortunately at the time, I knew a person who was an accountant for basically chiropractors exclusively. He had been urging me to work with him instead because he kind of figured something wasn't right because he would kind of never hear me talk about how much I was paying in tax for how much I was collecting. So he'd say, Tor, I think I need to take a... And I said, oh no, everything's going great. I call him in an emergency state and he goes, oh boy, for me to even look at this, you're going to have to pay me this big chunk of money up front as a retainer for me to sift through this mess. I signed a power of attorney. He got it to the IRS immediately because I had like a couple days to respond. He took over, redid all of my taxes for 3 years, every single month. We got them off my back. I had to get a line of credit to pay them off $230-something thousand. Very fortunate I had the horsepower to do that. All right. And I learned a lesson that I had to learn to make me as powerful as I am now in the chiropractic consulting world, because now how we handle payroll, how we handle taxes, it's just the best that has probably ever existed within the profession, because I was forced to get really, really good at this because of how hard I got burned in the past. All right. So that is an example, of such a thing. And by the way, as many people out there know who are listening, when you have this happen, you get the letter and it says something like that, you owe $187,000, and you have, by the way, there's patients coming in for the afternoon and you have to go see them. Okay. How about that one? Or how about this? You're on your way, and I have this with the stories I have from clients are unbelievable. Client has it happen the other day. On his way to his office after lunch, okay, and gets a text message that says, I'm pregnant. And he doesn't like the girl that much. And he's got to see people that afternoon. Or family emergencies, or physical things that can happen, or board complaints that there were because you got turned in by the asshole chiropractor 4 blocks away who's mad because he thinks you're stealing all the new ones in the area, and on and on and on. So we have fiery darts, we have challenges, but here's the thing. All of these will cause you to grow. Listen to me. Repeat after me. Everything causes my practice to grow. That's what you say. Everything causes my practice to grow. Oh, I just had to go in and get something done on my foot because I had a water ski injury. It's going to cause your practice to grow. I just got audited by the IRS. It's going to cause your practice to grow. Okay? Whatever it is, it's going to cause your practice to grow. Because in order to grow, you have to go through the furnace to some degree to be forged into the man and into the woman who can handle that level. The chiropractor wants to collect $1 million a year. Do you realize the chiropractor that on their own with no associates, not we're collecting $850 a year and there's 3 of us in here, one chiropractor collecting $1 million a year. Do you have any idea how forged and how tempered that man or woman is? The person that they've become to be able to do that, and the pain that they've gone through. It's like the famous story of the lady playing the piano. She gives a great recital. Afterwards, there's a little wine and cheese thing going on. Another lady walks up to the pianist and says, oh, I'd give anything to play like you. And the lady says, no, you wouldn't. What do you mean? Yeah, I would. No, you wouldn't. Sure, you want to stand here and have everybody come up and clap for you and gawk over you, but you don't want to sit there for the last 37 years and play until your fingers are bleeding while all your friends are outside having fun. You don't want to do that, do you? And so we have to go through the fire and be willing to go through the fire. I have volunteered to do difficult things in order to make myself mentally and physically tougher so that I can be more successful myself and help other people be more successful. So even though there may have been some failures in the past, remember this, it always causes your practice to grow. It's just a matter of time.
Well, we are coming to the home stretch of this interview, and I have a few more things I want to touch on. Do you think there's a secret to being successful? Is it just hard work?
I think it's a couple different things. It's hard to, like people ask me, why are you so motivated? What drives you? And I'll go, well, I don't know. It's like asking a guy who can high jump 7 feet. How do you do that? I don't know. I just walk up and I just jump over the thing. They don't know. I do it because I feel like I have to. Because I feel I have to. Why are you so motivated? You don't need to do this. What are you talking about? I have to. So it boils down to this. You really have to be on a mission. You have to just give in finally to the mission and realize your lifetime isn't very long and you can't do 100 different things. So you might as well just lock on to the mission. And the mission is to help as many people as you can with chiropractic care. That's the mission. And once you finally give in to that and quit rebelling it or anything, you're going to be a lot better off. Just finally give in and say, my purpose is to help as many people as I can with natural chiropractic care of awesomeness. And once you have that and realize those are the rails that you were on, well, then you're going to be a lot better off. It works like this also. Like my gal in my life, okay? She knew that when she decided to be with me, she married the mission. Because it's a one-way road, okay? Here in my life is one option and one option only, all right? And so people either are in with that or they'll get sort of ran over by it. And so there's the mission with chiropractic. That then, because if you have that, then that will make you want to do the work. We just call it having a desire to win, okay? Or also to hate losing. See, many chiropractors out there have gotten okay with losing. See, if you're not getting that many new patients, you're losing as far as new patients go. If you're not getting people to start care very well, then you're losing with your report. If you're not paying your student loans off in an accelerated way, you're losing on your student loans. If you're not saving money, well, you're losing on that front. And if you're not physically training, well, then you're losing with your own physical fitness. See, you have to hate losing. See, I hate losing, and I really love winning. And since I love to win and I hate to lose, then I'm going to do the things to keep from losing. And I'm going to do the things to get myself to win. And it could even be this. You could even look back at the past and you could look and see what you're mad about from the past. See, I'm pissed off from the past because I stood on the dock while the rich kids were out on the boat on the river and we didn't have a boat because we couldn't afford one. I'm still mad about that. And of course, it's funny now because now on the big lake here, that's one of the top 10, what you might call party lakes in the United States, I have the coolest boat. And everybody knows it. Oh, there goes the chiropractor guy. As 1,200 horsepower comes rolling by. All right? But that's just one of those things. So what motivates you toward the mission? In other words, what gives you the burn and the charge? And what vector? And that's the chiropractic mission. And then, yes, we're just willing to do the work and put in the time to read the books, to go to the seminars, listen to the CDs, hang around the more successful people, and just decide to win. See, here it is, and maybe this is a good sort of a point to wrap things up with is, see, I wasn't ever going to play quarterback for USC. Okay, I wasn't going to be an Olympic wrestler. Okay, I wasn't going to be the UFC welterweight champion. I just wasn't built, maybe physically or with the mindset, to be at that level in those particular disciplines. And maybe you as a female, you weren't going to win a gold medal in the Olympics in gymnastics or whatever it is that may be of interest to you. But here's the thing in chiropractic. You can absolutely be a champion chiropractor if you're just willing to put in a little bit of work. You can absolutely be the black belt, gold medal, Olympic caliber champion chiropractor. And all you got to do is be willing to hang out with people who are more successful, get the coaching that's required, listen to the CDs, read the books, stay the course, take the bumps, take the bruises, realize that all of those things are going to cause you to grow, and you can live what we call the victorious chiropractic power life. And that's what we're out to do.
Dr. Robson, what is the best way for people to contact you to find out about your speaking engagements and more about what you do in Winner's Edge Consulting?
Ask me to go boating, of course.
I'm asking right now.
People will join and say, I'll join if you take me for a boat ride. And the answer is always yes. I will always be willing to do that. But easiest way to get hold of me, WINNERSEDGEConsulting.com. If you call, we have a cool little sheet we have people fill out. Just say, just tell me where you're at in practice. What are you seeing? What are you doing? What are some of your goals? We have a very simple thing. It's just a single sheet. Even on my website, I've got a brief little eval, just so I can see where you're at. And I'll be happy to visit with you about your practice, about your biggest practice concerns. Boil down to this. What is the number one thing that's bugging you the most in practice or holding you back or affecting you or bothering you? Ask me that question. What is the main thing bothering you the most about practice that you want to have an answer to? Feel free to call, and I will be happy to answer that for you. If you want to learn more about our stuff, fine. I'm sometimes known as the stealth consultant. I'm not out to be popular. I do not care. My events are for my members only. I normally don't let any outsiders in any event. I am here to take my members to the highest level in the profession, and to become a member, you have to know a member in my group, or you have to be let in by me personally. Okay, we're not like a lot of other groups where you go and check it out and see if you like it. No. I'm going to visit with you and see if I like you and see if I should let you in my group, because what are you going to bring to the power of my group? What are you going to contribute? Not about what you're going to get. We're a little bit different in how we do that, but again, that's one thing that makes us unique and why, as a percentage of successful people in the group, it's like 100%. So, WINNERSEDGEConsulting.com. I'd be happy to visit with anybody and see if I can help you with the most pressing questions that you have. If you want to learn more about our programs from that point, it's your choice.
Dr. Robson, thank you for sharing such powerful and important information with us here today. I'm sitting here just getting charged up, listening to you speak. The ideas, the value bombs you dropped, I think are great. I've written them down. I'm going to start implementing them, and I hope some of our listeners really connect with what you're talking about and implement them in their practices and in their lives. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. I wish we had 8 hours to talk, but we don't. So we wish everybody the best, and I can't thank you enough, and I look forward to doing it again.
So once the interview had concluded, we chatted a bit more about chiropractic and what people are doing wrong in the profession in general. And one of the things we dialed in on is really just, for lack of a better word, laziness. People that aren't really taking the time to do the work to accomplish what needs to be done. So let's pick it up from there.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's look at this. Now just think about this in the past. If you went 20 years ago and you said to a chiropractor, say, hey, Joe Chiropractor, what if you had this thing that's as big as that calculator right there, and on it had all the world's information, and you know what you could even do with it? You could even take it and make like a video, and you could send it to someone instantly, and they could watch that video. Do you think they would look at that like it was the greatest practice growth tool that ever existed? But here we look at it today. How many chiropractors can you find, you ready, that have even made a brochure for their office? And the answer is none. It used to be way back when a practice was built with a business card and a brochure. Mm-hmm. Now you can't walk into an office and find an office where the chiropractor themselves made a decent brochure, let alone has videos on their website. Do you realize the practice of the future? And we have these, because I have sort of the 1, 2, 3 room chiropractic offices of the future already designed, the super low overhead in the community type of chiropractic office, and many other office designs. I went to college to be an architect. A lot of people don't know that. So my office designs, they're just the best that exist in chiropractic. And when you walk into a Winner's Edge office, you know it when you see it. All right. But anyway, along with that, people, there's just a desire to do what is required and to get the stuff done that really is going to make the biggest difference versus wasting time. And so if you can have video, okay, and get video made, and I have a video on how to make videos for chiropractors, because you can even have it like this. The new patient comes in, and then when they leave, you send them an email that says, Sherry, it was so great to have you in. The doctor wants you to watch this quick video. It's going to help you save a lot of time and save you a lot of money on your next visit. We have people that do their report before they even see the new patient. In other words, here we have all this capability, and it's not being used because people are lazy. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's just unimaginable, what we have out there. And so we want to help motivate people. And you see, I have charge and drive that that I want to use to get people excited. I want them to see that they can win, and they've got me in their corner, and they look over me and go, God, he thinks I can win, and it makes them want to win.
Well, I appreciate it. I loved every second of it, and I might take a snippet of this and include it in the show. Is that okay with you?
Of course, you can do whatever you like.
Because I think this was all good stuff to add in there as well.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I really appreciate you sharing.
Yeah. Now, by the way, you got my green booklets, right?
I do not have your green.
Okay, they've already been mailed to you. I've got these 3 booklets I just came out with. They're called Money, Chiropractic, and You. They're a revolution in the profession today. We have literally 100 of these things going out a day. I've made a commitment. Anybody who's a chiropractor, I will give my new 3 Money, Chiropractic, and You solutions to the most difficult practice questions. It's like an interview of me with everything you asked and 100 other things in 150 pages broken down into these 3 booklets. And I'm sure we already sent you a set. And if they're not there today, they'll be there in a day or 2. Okay. But any chiropractor that you may want to have a set, get a set, I'll be happy to send a set to them on your behalf as a gift. So there you go.
Wonderful. I'll keep an eye out for them, and I will put links to your information and more information about those booklets on the podcast website. You
love it, man. Hope we would have a chance to meet you sometime. And if you ever want me back on, I'm your guy.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Right.
We'll take you up on that.
All right. Thank you much.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Great job, Rich. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast at www.chirobusinessmojo.com.